Hi, my name is Nicole, master trainer and instructor from Sunnyvale Sport, and we're going to go through a half-hour Pilates workout right now. So I'm going to have you go ahead and extend your legs in front of you, about feet shoulder width apart or a little bit wider, toes up. And I want you to go ahead and move your little seat pads, find your hip bones, find your sits bones so that you're sitting up nice and tall. If you have a little bit of tightness in the hamstrings, this might be hard, so you can always sit on a pillow or something if you can't reach all the way forward. Go ahead and bring your hands out, and you're going to inhale nice and tall, expand the ribcage, and breathe out and fold forward. And sit up all the way nice and tall, chest up, shoulders back, and breathe out. We're going through about 8 of each item. Reach forward, and as you fold forward, think about trying to come forward a little bit more each time. Breathe out, and we have 4 more coming up. 3, 2, 1 more, and up. Rest those shoulders a little bit. We're going to go into windmills, so those arms are going to be right back up, and from here you're going to try and really rotate. As the front arm comes forward, the back arm comes back, so you're rotating through the torso. You can adjust your feet closer if you need to. You're going to rotate all the way and slice that pinky outside the pinky toe and up back to center. 8 total here. And really rotate. What I tell my clients is like you're wringing out a towel, but that towel is you. One more on each side. And relax. All right, we're going to go on into rollbacks. And I progress off of these rollbacks. So later on, if you find that a position is more challenging than it should be, go ahead and come back to the first option that we've done. That's totally fine. So again, you're going to find your sit bones. You're going to try and find a nice comfortable place with the legs where your feet are flat. You're going to try and keep them there. Hands in front. We're going to always come back up to this tall position with the shoulders down and back. You're going to roll back, tuck the tailbone under, like you're looking at your belly button as far as you can without losing control. About where you start shaking is about your end of range of motion. So if you go past that, you might find it kind of coming into your low back, losing control of the core. So it's all about keeping that core control. And back up. You'll see my feet are moving a little bit. I'm going to try not to. I don't want to go farther than I can control. All the way up nice and tall. One more here. And 2. And 1 more. All right, beautiful. So Pilates is based off of controlology, so using your arms and your legs as resistance for the core. So it's not about going fast. It's not about having any sort of weight. It's really holding everything as tight as possible as you're getting through that range of motion. As your shoulders are resting, we're going to bring those hands back up. We're going to add a rotation with this. So we call it anti-rotation. So as you're extending the arm to the side, you're really going to try and keep your body centered. So hands back up again. We're going to go 4 on each side. So we're going to roll back, 4 separate movements. Hold right here at the end of your range of motion. Rotate that arm down. You can follow with your eyes. Opposite, all your muscles are hanging in there. Bring it back to center. And then roll it back up. So we're going to go 4 on each side. That's 1. Roll it back. Really keep that control. No cheating. You can't lose that back or you've gone too far. So be honest with yourself so you're really getting the most out of each repetition. Keep that other hand right in front of your shoulder. Sometimes our body likes to move and we don't know about it. Roll back down. 2 more on each side. Hands up. Beautiful. We're going to come on down to your mat. We're going to do a little bit of leg work here. So again, we're going to keep the feet flat. We're going to go one side at a time. So really want you to focus on, of course, the core is engaged, kind of finding that spot with your mat. You can have a neutral back, but make sure that it's not arching up by using that core to keep it down. And make sure the hips don't move. So it's easy to let these guys move around, but we want to keep them nice and solid. We're going to start with straight leg raises. You're going to lower down just as far as you can to keeping tension in the abs. Breathe out and pull it back up. Down. Making sure everything through the core is staying stable. We're going to go all the way through the series on one leg before we switch to the other leg. Give me 2 more here. You're going to hold. You're going to take that foot, flex it, and externally rotate it 45 degrees, but it's still going down through the center, working a little bit different line of those muscles, those quads. Breathe out, lift up. Still going right through that center, keeping that tummy tight. All right, bring it back to center. And now we're going to go leg circle. So it's basically a big capital D. Only go out as far as you can without that opposite hip lifting off the floor. So bring it down, breathe in, breathe out, up and around, really keeping that opposite hip anchored. And down and up and around. You can relax your hands to the sides as well. I like to kind of keep focused on those hips, make sure they're not moving. 4 more. And 1. And reverse. Breathe in on the way down. Keep that anchored, anchored, anchored. And breathe out. Pull it up through the center. And around. Breathe out. Really working the whole lower area of the core. And we got 4 more here. 4. Pulling it tight. 3. 2. Last 1. And that side is now done. Go ahead and bring the other leg up. And inhale. And exhale up. So you might find, again, differences between one side and the other. How strong you are in counterbalancing that leg, so how far you can go down while keeping your core tight. You might find more range of motion when we get to the circles. Those are all just things to be aware of. But usually there's always going to be a little bit of a difference between each side. 2 more here. And flex that foot, externally rotating it, keeping it straight down the center still. And bring it down and up. And I kind of just think in my head 2 counts down and 2 counts up. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to center, and we're going to go down and out and around. Really challenge that. See how far around you can go without this hip popping up. 3. All right, we got 3 more here. 3, 2, 1, and reverse. Last set, around, and breathe out, lift up, around. And 3, and 2, and 1, and up, and bring that foot down. Beautiful. All right, so now we're going to do a little bit for the hips and the glutes as well while we're right here. So make sure you are kind of centered on your mat. It's easy to move around. All right, so those heels are going to be close to you. You can relax the palms up to the sky, and you're going to push through your heels, and you're going to breathe in and breathe out. Lift the hips up and squeeze. You should be up onto your shoulder blades. Go ahead and hold with me. So a couple things to point out. Your feet, your ankles should be under your knees. If they're farther away from you, you might find that your calves and your hamstrings are trying to cramp up if you're out here. So make sure that your feet are right underneath you and you're really lifting through those hips as high as you can. We don't want to arch the back overly, so keep that core engaged and that you're on your shoulder blades. So we're just going to go ahead and do 8 up and down. So bring it down, and we'll do 8 nice and slow. Breathe in and breathe out and down. Really squeezing the glutes every time. Make sure you're as high as you can. 4 more. 4, 3. Keep that core tight. I know I have to really focus on that too. And 1. Hold. All right, we're going to go treading. So you're going to go up onto the toes and then bring it down. Other side, up onto the toes, working the lower calf or the soleus. Up. We're going to do 8 each side. That's 2. Up. 4. Really hold that position. 5. 6. 7. 8 and 8, and bring it down. Mini rest right here. Hug those knees up to your chest. And we're going to add 1 more layer onto that bridge. We're going to do alternating You can call them marches. All right, up. You're going to hold this nice and strong. We're going to extend just at the same level as the other leg. Now really try to engage the hip and the obliques so that your hips not dropping, they're staying at the same level. Drive through that leg. Try and keep those hips up. Give me 4, 3, 2, 1, and 1, and bring it down. Nice. Hug those knees up one more time. Stretch out that low back. We're going to go back to our rolling series. Make sure you're still on your mat. You have enough room. I would like to make sure. All right. So we're going to start with shoulder slaps. Bring the shoulders back. We're going to lower the hands, keeping this tight, and bring them back up. Working on that shoulder stabilization. Sorry if I just breathed on you. Give me 4 more here. 4. 3. Keep that tummy tight, right? Those ribs stay down. 2. And 1. All right, come along with me. We're going to lower the hands. We're going to snow angel down towards the heels. You're going to lift slowly up, crunch, reach towards the heels, squeeze, and then lower back down. And arms come back, keeping that tummy tight. And sweep, and up. 2. And 3. Breathe out every time. And 3. 2. And 1. And relax. All right, we're going on to the next level. We're kind of going to put a lot of this stuff together that we've been doing. So we're going to come up here, and what you want to do is you really want to make sure you're not using momentum. If you need to bend the legs, kind of use your body to help pull you up a little bit of momentum, but keep in mind what we really want to do is get all that out. So really just using the core to lift our entire body through the range of motion. So I'm going to switch up a couple of the variations as we go so you can see some of the levels. So this would be the full range, breathing in, and as you come up, breathe out. Ooh, that would be not the best. Reach forward. And slowly roll back down 1 vertebrae at a time. Up. Show another level. You're going to come up. Grab the legs. And come on up like so, like we did in the beginning, where you're coming all the way back. And reach all the way forward. You will notice that you're going to slide around on your mat a little bit. So reposition as needed. 4 more. Fight for it. Sometimes just getting the first couple out of the way makes it a little bit better. 3. Scooch, scooch, scooch. 1 more. Use that breath. Really use that breath. and come all the way down. All right, so now we're going to come on up. We're going to do one of my favorites. It's called rolling like a ball. So you have a couple options. You can hold your legs out here. And that's what we're going to do to start. Okay. So knees are bent. And just like we've been doing, you're going to slowly articulate the spine by rolling down, tucking your chin, okay? If you hit the ground, you're not articulating the spine. We don't want to fall on the ground and hear a thud. So as quiet as you can, you're going to breathe in, roll back, and balance. Okay, so we're going to do 8 there. Use that breath, breathe out to help you get back up. And here we go. 8. Balance every time. So you're going to want to find those sit bones. Oh, that was a little fast for me, so I want to make sure I am controlling it. 1 vertebrae and up. Make sure you're not going on your head or your neck. 4 more. 3, 2. Nice and tall, round and up. Beautiful. All right, so here's what we're going to do now. A little fun. I like to do this in my class. So I'm going to still face this way, but you're going to be here, nice and tall. You're going to grab your ankles and sit up nice and tall. And again, if this is where you're comfortable and you're just challenged balancing, that's fine as well. I'm going to scoot to the front of my mat. All right, nice and tall. So now, for the flexible of you, you're going to go here. And you're going to go here. And guess what? If you can't, that's fine. We're going to go here. Totally fine. And guess what? We're going to do it again. So I'm going to try and do 4 each. So I'm going to switch in the middle. But we'll do our rollbacks like so. Breathe in. 1. Touch down if you need to. 2. 3. 4. All right, I'm going to try the other version here. Ooh. Nope. Aha. Fight for it. And 1 more. Some days are better than others. All right. So now we're just going to go ahead and face the front. One more thing. I'm going to have you get your push-ups in. So this knee's forward, this knee's to the side, foot is to the knee. Turn to one side. Just as much as you can rotate. I don't want you to force it, but we're going to go ahead and do offset push-ups. 8 on each side. 8. 6. Get that chest between the hands. Should feel stretch in the low back as you come down. 2 and 1. And go ahead and switch sides. 1 knee facing me, 1 knee facing the wall. Rotate and down. 8. Just as much as you can rotate while keeping your chest right between those hands. And rest. All right, and last but not least, we're going to come into a plank. Tuck those toes under. Elbows right underneath your shoulders. Lift and hold. And we're going to do a little toe flick. So toe, toe. Keep that leg right where it is. Just switch the toes. Focus on shifting that core stability one side to the other. Try to keep those hips straight. 4, 3, 2, 1, and 1, and rest. Beautiful. We have one more core challenge here from the plank position. We're doing alternating side knee touch. You're going to bring the knee out to the side, towards your elbow. And that's about it. All right, come on up. 1. Try to keep the hips facing down. Don't let them twist. 2. Halfway there. 4. 3. 2. 1. And 1. All right. And then a lot of us don't have machines at home, so getting that leg workout in is a little tricky. So we're going to do a kneeling leg extension. Sit up. Keep that tight, arms out to help you counterbalance. You're going to slowly fall back just as much as you can. If that's it, that's fine. Then come back up. 8. 'Give me 4. 3. Ooh. 2. I'm going to shorten that on the last 2. 1. All right, bring it down. Good job, guys. Bring those feet together. Would you focus on squeezing your glutes, pulling your knees down to the floor, sitting up nice and tall? Good job. So any of the progressions we can work on. And if anything bothers you, then just leave it out. There's always going to be exercises in different classes that may or may not work for you. Sit up nice and tall and just sink forward. And come to one side, reach over. Switch. Bring your hands underneath your legs and round out that back, stretch it out. And then reach forward towards those feet, toes up. I always like to hold stretches for about 30 seconds or until you feel the muscles release that tension. Now point the toes away from you and sink down again. Should feel that stretch a little bit higher up on the hamstring and more in the front of the shin. Deep breath in, reach, and out. All right, thank you so much for joining me. And again, my name is Nicole.